Breaking news on the bad Degenerate Bunnies Super Bowl halftime show perversity, which was crammed down your throat in a humiliation ritual. Take your beating. Well, according to social media post, he was fined by the FCC $10 million. I hate to break it to you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but somebody's got to do it. It's fake news. It's not true. He has not been fined by the FCC. The FCC, as far as I know, has not even issued an official statement about the Super Bowl degeneracy debacle nonsense from the Degenerate Bunny. I want to get into what was said, not just what was done, because the Super Bowl halftime show was a display of grand perversities, and it was a humiliation ritual. I want to get into this today because you need to be paying attention to what he said. Here's the question. If you say bad things, lewd things, perverse things, but you say them in Spanish, does that somehow make it okay? Simply because it was Spanish and not in English. I got into a phone call with a friend of mine, Rudy Carlos, host of the Ask Caprice live show, and he speaks fluent Spanish, and he and I went through the lyrics together. He was translating it by listening, and I was looking at the auto translator from Google on YouTube, which is not even a great translation. But if you just look at the auto translation from Google, you get enough to know just how bad this is. But I'm not going to stop there. There's an article over at the Daily Mail. I'm going to get into that. Plus, there is a clip. I'm going to link to it below for you to check out and listen to. This lady does the translations as well, and you can tell that she's trying her best to be as neutral as she possibly can, but it's so explicit. It's so terrible that it clearly bothers her. And at some point, she starts bleeping the words herself. She's self-censoring because it's just that bad. The Bad Bunny. He's talking about having all these girlfriends, not wanting to marry any of them, having all these girlfriends, bragging about sexual practices, behaviors, genital size, acts, things of this nature. Hundreds of millions of people were exposed to not just the visual elements of the grinding, the twerking, homosexual twerking. But even what he said was degenerate and horrible. And yet the FCC has said nothing. But Joe, you're just being a racist. This is the Puerto Rican culture. Is this the Puerto Rican culture? Is this truly the Puerto Rican culture? Are you okay? If you're Puerto Rican, are you okay with this? If you're Hispanic, are you okay with this? Does this represent who you are? Does this represent your family values? How in the world is this family values? Mom, dad, raising kids, committed to each other sacrificially in marriage. How is that okay? This is anti-family. Here's what the Daily Mail article said. Super Bowl fans sickened after translating Bad Bunny's X-rated Spanish lyrics. This is pure degeneracy. I'm going to link to it below. Super Bowl viewers were left sickened after social media users began circulating English translations of Spanish lyrics from Bad Bunny's music following his headline-making halftime performance. Following the show, critics branded the content pure degeneracy and questioned why the NFL put the global superstar on its biggest stage. The backlash erupted after hours after the show, when conservative commentator Megan Basham posted screenshots of translated lyrics, which she described as the, quote, most obscene lyrics ever to be performed at a Super Bowl halftime show. His track, Safaria, or however you say it, Bad Bunny boasts about explicit sexual acts, drug use, and casual hookups with repeated references to arousal and sex performed while intoxicated. Children watch this live. It goes on. One widely shared translation paraphrases a line suggesting that a woman's partner is inadequate if he does not perform a very specific sexual act. Other tracks of his reference juggling multiple sexual partners and genital size. You know, family-friendly values, family values of the Puerto Rican culture. It goes on. Quote, these lyrics are the lyrics Christians are being told they should have embraced and celebrated, Basham wrote, adding that she was disturbed by claims the kids would get a kick out of hearing this in Spanish. In a follow-up post, Basham acknowledged that some lyrics were altered for Super Bowl broadcast, but insisted that portions remained intact and that the artist's broader catalog was still being celebrated publicly. The Bad Bunny grabbing his genitals, the grinding, the twerking. If you just read the Google translation alone, you're going to get the picture of how perverse and disgusting the degenerate bunny is. But let me give you a sample from this lady. Again, I'm going to link to it below. Make sure to smash the thumbs up on your way down. This is what she had to say as she translated it live. Have a listen.
Here we go. Hey, Auntie asked me if I have a lot of girlfriends. A lot of girlfriends. Today I have one, tomorrow another one. But there's no wedding. Do you ask me if I have a lot of girlfriends?
So Auntie's asking, hey, do you have a lot of girlfriends? Oh, I've got a lot of girlfriends. I got girlfriends everywhere. But there ain't going to be no wedding. No commitment. He is playing the field. Are women okay with that? Do you want a man who will just play, who will consume you? I used to be addicted to pornography. I used to live this lifestyle. This, I got to tell you, rings so close to home because I know exactly what this means. When you look at another human being and you do not see another human being, but rather you see something to be consumed, to enjoy, and then to throw away and toss into the garbage when you're done because it means nothing to you. That is how I ended up committing the evil and horrendous mortal sin of abortion in 1994. I tell the story in my documentary film called The Other Side of Fear. I'll link to that below for you as well so you can get the gritty details. But I know exactly what this means, playing the field. Is that family-friendly values? Is this the Puerto Rican family value? Is it? I'm just curious.
Auntie, a lot of girlfriends. Today I have one, tomorrow another one. But I'm going to take all of them to a VIP. Hey, say hello to Titi. Let's take a selfie. Say cheese. Smile if I already stuck it in you.
Smile if I already stuck it in you.
Smile if you already forgot about me. I like Gabriela's, Nicole's, Sophia's. My first girlfriend in kinder was Maria. And my first love, Talia. I have a Colombia that writes me every day. A Mexican that didn't even know. One in San Antonio that still loves me. And Puerto Ricans are all mine. A Dominican that grape candy. The one from Barcelona came in an airplane and says my penis is cool.
Says my genitals are what again? If you're a father, you have a daughter. Do you want your daughter to be involved in this culture? Do you not want a man who will sacrifice his life for her? Who will love God more than he loves even her? A man of honor, a man of integrity, the man on the porch who stands between the world, the flesh, and the devil, and his wife and children? Or do you want this degenerate, insane man who's given his life over to the devil? Is this Puerto Rican culture? And because he says these things in Spanish, does that make it okay? I'm going to link to this clip below so you can watch the rest of it. And I think she has more. She went through the whole thing. But I got to tell you, we have choices to make. Let's turn to the 4th chapter of the letter of St. James. Adulterers, know you not that the friendship of this world is the enemy of God? But Joe, you're just being too prude. You're just being too Puritan. You're just being too stuffy. You're just being too racist. God's divinely revealed word tells us that to be a friend of the world is to be an enemy of God. That's got to mean something. It goes on, whosoever therefore will be a friend of this world becometh an enemy of God. Or do you think that the scripture saith in vain, to envy doth the spirit covet which dwelleth in you? Do you think the bad bunny here, the degenerate bunny, the horrible bunny, do you think he is a friend of the world, or do you think he's a friend of God? And when you die, whether that day is today or that day is years from now, do you not think you will go to your eternal reward? Do you think he will? We need to pray for the conversion of the degenerate bunny and all All of the people who are just like this, who have given themselves over to the world, the flesh, and the devil. Even St. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 6, verse 9 and following, fornicators do not inherit the kingdom of God. I am so grateful that I had a mystical experience in 2002. I was living the fornicator's life. But God, in so many graces, saved me. Saved me, saved my marriage, made it possible for my children to be born, for my grandkids to be here today. If it wasn't but for God, I would not be here. I am so grateful. Again, I'm going to link to my documentary film called The Other Side of Fear below that tells you the entire story. Pay attention to what was said by the degenerate bunny and ask yourself, why hasn't the FCC said anything? Why haven't they done anything? Simply because it was said in Spanish, does that make it okay? Hundreds of millions of people were exposed to this degeneracy. Children, their impressionable minds that think of this as normal. And if you're in the Hispanic culture and you are offended by this, you need to be the loudest person in the room talking about it. You need to be the loudest person on social media talking about it. If this does not represent who you are as a people, you need to let the world know, because they are stealing from you. They are besmirching your character. They are telling the whole world that this is normal, and it isn't. Let me know what you think below. God love you. God bless you. And we'll see you on the show.
Did you like that video? It's okay. You can admit it. It's perfectly fine. Hey, we cover the big stories of our day, from inside the church to outside the church to all points in between, and we do it from a Catholic perspective. It's called A Catholic Take. It's a radio program Monday through Friday. We live stream it right here on this channel, by the way, so make sure to subscribe, like, and share. We would be very grateful to you. And don't forget, you're going to want to watch this video right here because you don't want to miss anything.